Good evening. My name is Maya Wen, and this slideshow is my answer to one of my biggest questions. Okay, so before we begin into the case studies of the companies I'll be going over, I will start off with a quick introduction about myself, as well as my big question and why I'm doing this. So, hello, I'm Maya Wen, and I'm a sophomore in St. Francis High School, Mountain View. During my freshman year, I attempted to create a crochet business, which majorly flopped. I've been crocheting since third grade, so I'm probably not lacking in skill. So why couldn't I succeed? Similarly to my story, I'm sure that there are plenty of startups where they have the right skill and right idea, but not the right process. So what is the right process? And how did all these major companies rise so high? Oops. In order to find out more about this question, I will be talking about the strategies of Nike, Patagonia, and Uber. But why did I choose these three companies? Nike, Patagonia, and Uber are at the top of their respective industries, with Nike being at the top of sports apparel, Patagonia in outdoors apparel, and Uber in rideshare apps. They're all such successful companies, and I wanted to learn more about their strategies, as well as to see if their strategies differed in different industries. First up is Nike, which is an extremely well-known sports and apparel brand that is valued at over $150 billion. It was founded in 1974 by Phil Knight and his coach, Bill Bowerman. They were able to quickly climb to success with their use of their brand image. Both Nike's slogan and logo is recognizable to most people. They're both simple and easy enough to remember. For their slogan, it targets a large audience, encouraging to exercise or to complete their goals. NBA feature writer Nick DePaula said that anybody could apply it to whatever they were trying to do. Nike's slogan was created by Carolyn Davidson. Nike's logo was created by Carolyn Davidson. Because their logo is so simple, it's easy to imagine Nike when you see that swoosh. The implicit association of a swoosh equaling Nike is key in securing new customers. Nike has spent a whopping $1.5 billion on athlete endorsements. The Air Jordan, one of Nike's most popular shoes, was released in 1985. In 2022, the Jordan brand passed $5.1 billion in revenue. All of Jordan's fans, basketball fans, and ordinary people have come rushing in order to buy these shoes. This greatly expands the company's consumer base. The Jordan brand makes up for a whopping 10% of their revenue. Next up is Patagonia, which is an outdoors clothing brand that is rooted in their environmental image. Ever since they were founded in the 1950s, they have never lost sight of the beliefs that the earth is our top priority. Patagonia is an extremely environmentally aware company. As seen in this image, Patagonia released an ad during a Black Friday sale that read, "Don't buy this jacket." They didn't want anyone to buy their clothing with the idea that because it was on sale, it was necessary to buy. They only wanted people to buy it if it was truly needed. In the 2010s, Patagonia discontinued their corporate branded apparel after they saw that it was likely to be thrown away after employees left the company. They didn't want their jackets to be unused or discarded, so they just completely scrapped it. Patagonia was willing to risk a whole source of income so that they could stick to their beliefs. Patagonia also created an organization called 1% for the Planet, in which they partner with other businesses and environmental organizations. Oops. Uber is one of the top rideshare brands in the world. As an idea that was a novelty to the world, founders Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp knew that they had to warm everyone up to it first. They used product evolution in order to maximize their impact into the world. It's hard to gain people's trust. Imagine you're someone in 2010 waiting for a taxi. A random non-yellow car pulls up and tells you to get in. It's suspicious, right? Now you can just click on a button on your phone, a car will pull up, tell you to get in, and they'll drive you to your destination. Because Uber was the first service of its kind, they decided to go a more controlled and smaller route. They started off with a professional limo service or black car service. Once people were more open to the idea of getting into a car that wasn't owned by the overall company, they launched UberX, the cheaper version. The founders were able to recognize that if they immediately launched their idea, it would definitely flop. So they took it slow and started with something that would gain people's trust first, which is the limo service. Eventually, they expanded to include other markets, such as deliverable food. They caught on to DoorDash's idea and they adapted with something similar. However, they still stuck to their overall industry of car services. Oops. So how is this relevant? All of these companies use a large variety of strategies. There isn't necessarily a right process, but there are several different routes a rising entrepreneur could take. Perhaps if you're able to successfully incorporate a good brand image, celebrity endorsements, values-based branding, and product evolution, perhaps you could become a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Of course, luck is also an important factor, and it's not guaranteed that every person is going to be successful, but these strategies are also a step in the right direction. That's it.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm curious, what strategies that you learned about do you think you could apply to your business, the crocheting business?
Well, for crocheting, it's really good to have a lot of variety in what you make because you won't really be successful off of just one thing. So I think Uber's idea of having a lot of product evolution and different products, it would be really helpful. But in general, a lot of the strategies that were used by these three companies are extremely useful, like sticking to your brands, finding endorsements with celebrities or just people in general, and just simple and easy to remember, like a slogan and logo are really good branding.
Great, thank you. And last question, what advice would you give to a student just starting to research this topic?
Well, you want to make sure that you know what you really want to research and just also making sure that you find the right sources about what you're researching into.
Thank you for that.